Good to see you here at Mindfulness during exam week. You know, it's that thing that I sometimes say that a famous meditation teacher once said to meditate for 20 minutes every day, unless you really don't have the time, in which case meditate for an hour, which is kind of backwards if you think about it. We usually think if we don't have time for something, then we try to fit it in a smaller period of time. But his argument was if you feel really rushed and super busy, that is the most important time to practice mindfulness, because it's when we most need it most. Manasvi doing some cramming in full swing. Good stuff. Stacy having a vacation. Nice. Your little cousins with you. Really cool. Okay, nice. Cool. Good luck. Enjoy. So everyone, we're going to practice some mindfulness together. So if you've never practiced it before, that's okay. We are here to do it together. You don't need to have tried it out, but this is a way of introducing it. Hi guys who are joining. Mindfulness can be described in a couple of different ways. I like to think of it in two ways. One is it's like a skill that we learn. It's something like any skill. It benefits from regular practice. But as well as being a skill, just like exercising our physical muscles, it's exercising our mental muscles. Mindfulness is also a way of being. So it's not just something that we think of as something to do, but as something to be. And that's a whole different thing. That's then seeing our meditation practice as a way of becoming more present in our lives and developing characteristics of more patience and compassion, amongst other things. So it's not just about how can we get from here to there. It's kind of about realizing we're already here or we're already there. It's the practice of recognizing that and learning to accept and enjoy the fact there's nowhere to go. It's just about paying attention to the present moment and enjoy everything we can from it. As we practice mindfulness, you can bear this in mind. You can think about it in these two different ways. And in a way, it's kind of a paradox. It's like, how can these two things both be true at the same time, even though they seem opposite to each other? A skill that you learn to help you progress and improve and develop. And on the other hand, something that says you don't need to go anywhere. Let's just learn how to be exactly where we are. And that's the journey. Well, sometimes life has paradoxes and two different things can be true at the same time. So sometimes the practices of mindfulness is all about learning to appreciate that that's what life is sometimes. Paradoxes. And lots of different things can be true at the same time. So we're going to practice for the next 10, 12 minutes or so. I'll guide you through it. All you need to do is listen along and follow the guidance. That's pretty much it, guys. So let's make sure that we're sitting in a nice comfy spot. So usually this means we have our legs like at 90 degrees and our feet planted firmly on the floor in front of us. Doesn't have to be like that. That's usually what's most comfortable. Sit up nice and tall, so the spine is straight. It's almost like we have a thread pulling up from the top of our head, the crown of our head, pulling up towards the sky. And that helps us to tuck in our chin just a little bit. So we have a straight, long spine. I often notice as I do this, my shoulders are kind of being held. There's some tightness there without me realizing they're being held up towards my ears a little bit. So if that's the case with you, just as best you can, letting that tension in the shoulders go. Let the shoulders sag down, be held down by gravity. Hands in your lap, and let your eyes close gradually. Helps us to bring our attention down and into the body. Practice this way of being first. The present moment, without any sense that we need to achieve anything. We can just notice the pressure, the feet touching the floor. Simply is our experience in this moment. ourselves be interested and curious enough to focus all our attention in this very simple experience. Go your toes around a little bit if you like, can create some extra sensation. Allow this experience to be enough. You can move your attention up through the legs and into the place where your body makes contact with the seat beneath you. Just notice how that is right now. Where the pressure is it equally distributed? You notice the weight is slightly more to the left or the right, front or behind. You can just notice this. You don't need to change anything. Whatever you find is okay. But then again, you may choose to make a little adjustment to how you're sitting. That feels really comfortable. It also helps you feel awake and alert. And how about the sensations in the belly right now? You feel your breathing here. You feel the movement of the belly as you breathe in and out. Do you notice any tension here? Any tightness or holding? As you can with each in-breath, let the belly inflate with air like a balloon. As you breathe out, let that air flow out of you nice and easy. You can notice how there's nothing you need to do to breathe. It happens automatically, so you can let go of any sense of needing to do anything right now. Simply observe, simply feel the movement from the inside. As you do this, you notice that your mind gets distracted. You notice all kinds of thoughts and emotions arise. You can actually just congratulate yourself on noticing this. Understand it as a moment of mindfulness, just of awareness. So just notice, and as best you can, let it go. Come back to feeling that movement in the belly as you breathe. It's in this way we can view mindfulness more as a skill that we build. Each time our mind gets distracted and we notice, and we refocus, we build that muscle of mindfulness, of choosing how and where to place our attention, and we regain control. Expand your attention as well to take in a sense of the whole body sitting here. There's no need to actually think about that or maybe visualize it, but rather, again, feel it from the inside. Just notice any and all sensations throughout the body. Simply notice. You can go from sensation to sensation. Pull and push. Try to hold on to or push any part of the experience away. You find that there are any particularly challenging thoughts or emotions that arise, and always know you have a choice. You can choose to refocus your attention somewhere else, maybe to a place in the body that feels safe and stable. As if this just doesn't feel like the right time to be sitting in silence with your present moment experience, you can always make the decision to come back another time if that would suit you better. But there's just a little bit of discomfort, a small challenge. It can be really helpful to work with that and just notice it. Not bite into it too much. Not become overly concerned. Simply notice it and redirect your attention just to the body as a whole, to how it's feeling. We're going to bring this practice to a close in a moment. We can do this just by taking a few slightly longer, slower, deeper breaths in. You might choose to place a hand or two on the belly to really feel the air moving. Going at your own pace, whatever works for you. Just enjoying the movement of the air flowing in and so with the sound of the bell, we can just slowly start to bring a little bit of movement into the body. If you want to have a little stretch, just enjoy that. Listen to the body. Keep your attention in the body as you just notice what it would appreciate right now. A little stretch, a little bit of movement, a little twist. And whenever you're ready, you're welcome to open up your eyes. Maybe take a brief moment to just look around the room. Take it all in, all the colors, the textures, the shadows, the shapes. And then coming back onto the screen. All right, guys, thank you. Well, thank you for joining us for today's practice. As always, the chat box is open. It'd be wonderful to hear how you guys got on, how you found that experience. And let me know, what did you notice of those last 15 or so minutes? How was your experience? Was it to invite this way of being that accepts just how things are in the moment, without any pressure that we need to do anything in particular or change anything about how things are? Did you notice any particular thoughts or feelings arise that you needed to maybe just redirect your attention away from to bring it back into the body and the present moment experience? Did the mind feel quite focused? Did it feel very busy and easily distracted? Certain emotions present. Maybe you noticed frustration or boredom, or maybe you noticed real curiosity and joy, knowing that whatever the experience was is okay. We don't really place the expectation that meditation needs to be or feel any particular way. It's just tuning into and being there with an open heart for however we are in the moment. Manaswi says, felt so good, super light, no stress. Thank you, so. Thank you, Manaswi. Ishita, hey, it was really relaxing, definitely cleared up my mind and took all the stress away. Cool, thanks, Ishita. Oh, and Manaswi was thinking of plans after the exams. Yeah, of course, that's supernatural that stuff like that's going to come up. That's cool. It's a great moment of mindfulness to realize where your mind goes. That's what we do here. We become more aware of the habit patterns of our minds, the thought patterns. And becoming more aware of that, brings with it a lot of power. Natalie says, I was distracted, 100%. We often are. Hello, Stacey's. Is it cousin? Is it cousin you said, Stacey? Hello, Stacey's cousin. Yeah, cool, Natalie. If you feel like you're a super hello. If you're really distracted, Natalie, that's totally cool. Many of us, most of us, spend most of our time meditating, feeling pretty distracted. And that's okay. That's where we bring in those attitudes of just accepting that and not seeing that as a problem. And on the other hand, seeing it as a skill that we can develop and build. As we gain more control over our attention, we build that mindfulness muscle over attention and focus. And in time, slowly, we generally start to notice that we become a little bit less easily distracted during our meditation practice. And that allows us to be a little bit more focused outside of our meditation practice in our day-to-day lives. So I invite you to keep on coming, but to also not see how your experience was today as any kind of a problem. Cool. Okay, guys, nice one. Thank you so much for joining me. That is the session. Oh, Manasvi, I use this practice before going to bed, and after waking up, I feel so good, like full reborn vibe. Yeah, nice. 100%. If you're able to do something like this at the beginning and end of the day, yeah, I mean, I've just noticed it in my own life. Huge benefit, huge potential benefits. Yeah, thank you, Manasvi. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the day in